Hey, folks, and welcome to the Outdoors Radio Show, The Bend. I am your host, Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck, and always, remember, we love hearing from all of you. Comments, stories, ideas. Get a hold of us anytime. Call or text 305-900-2363. Again, that's 305-900-2363. Or you can always drop us an email to bendradioshow@gmail.com. Joining me again today, as always, is my producer, sound engineer, and co-host, Jeff Tigger Erhardt. It's been a busy spring. Spring just showed up here, right? The last couple of days, and all I can say is...
Or the lack thereof, spring.
Some areas, exactly, are under a lot of snow. Other areas, I'm hearing, can use the rain. And then I just heard recently today in parts of Colorado where they're going, we didn't have enough snow to fill up some of the dams and such areas that they actually usually pipe out for irrigation to some of their fields. So, it just depends on where you are. But regardless, Mother Nature is giving us all a headache this coming year is all I could say. I wanted to give a quick little PSA to y'all, and that is, I saw this the other day. Tigger, you might even be surprised. 30% of Americans do not know when tax day is this year. Do you know what day it is this year?
That is up to my accountant. I just make sure all of our books are in order, and I get them to our accountant, and they take care of that. Well, it's April 15th.
I'm bringing it up because that's the way you're forewarned and you still have a couple of weeks to go. It is April 18th this year. Yes, again, April 18th. And also, I found this interesting. The 10 biggest tax procrastinators by state. Procrastinators by state. Here we go. New Hampshire is number 10. Maine, Montana, you're 8th. Rhode Island, Delaware. Now, this is where I thought it got real interesting. South Dakota, you're in the top 5, as in North Dakota, you're in at 4th. Then Alaska, Vermont, and lastly, Wyoming is considered to be the biggest tax procrastinators. So
is that because of the population? That there's limited population in Wyoming?
I'm really not
in a very agricultural state?
I'd have to dig into that further. I'm not really sure, but all I can say is get her done. Lent. For those that recognize and participate in the no meat on Ash Wednesday, then Fridays between then and, of course, Good Friday, and with there only being a few Fridays left now until Easter, I thought I would share that there are some alternatives to fish that are also considered approved to be eaten during this time. There is still an aquatic feel, but these approved protein sources may surprise you. Dating back to the War of 1812, Michigan in particularly used muskrats as an important source of protein, same as the beaver. Legends go back in time that both muskrats and beavers were once classified as fish because of their lifestyle being in the water all the time. Of course, they are now scientifically classified as mammals. However, they are still approved for Lent. Others on the list of approved protein sources that may be surprising are alligators, snakes, and turtles, as all live on both land and water as opposed to just land. So if you drive by a sign that says muskrat or beaver feed this Friday, I've read how this is actually a tradition for many parishes, no different than perch fries for others. Our first story takes us across the pond to the United Kingdom, where a conservation group has been assembled to tackle the invasive gray squirrel population. The gray squirrels are destroying trees as they will strip back the bark to get to the sap underneath, and there's an urgency to protect their woodland and native trees. The group called Exmoor Squirrel Project is offering up recipes such as lasagna, fritters, kebabs, and stews, as well as introducing the use of squirrels in restaurants as a menu item. Now we head over to China, where a family in China bought what they believed was a Tibetan Mastiff. They raised the dog for 2 years before calling animal control to examine it. The dog, can you guess, turned out to be a bear. Yes, you heard me right, a bear. The family said their dog, quote unquote, was eating a box of fruit and 2 buckets of noodles daily, and they became concerned after it began walking on its hind legs. The Asiatic black bear has now been taken to a wildlife rescue center where it will eventually be released into the wild. We're still traveling the world, and now we're heading to New Zealand. A man has been recovering from being attacked by a wild boar. The man was barbecuing when he chased several piglets out of his yard. Moments later, a large wild boar ran him over. He was knocked unconscious, suffered a dislocated shoulder and a bloody head. Again, these feral pigs, wild hogs, they are invasive species almost anywhere found in the world. And if seen, I've repeated this more than once on this show, report to officials immediately if they are not already on your state's watch list. Recently, a Facebook group I was in, that's a nature's lovers group, that shares photos of animals in the wild, captured photos of wild hogs here in the United States close to the Canadian border. Thinking that they were sharing fun, feel-good photos, they were quickly directed to that state's Board of Animal Health. The USDA and Game and Fish were involved. Now, finally, bringing it back home to the United States, I have a feel-good one for you. AMC, as in the movie theaters, in an attempt to make up for the decline in customers due to all of the home streaming of movies this day and age, has begun selling their popcorn exclusively at Walmart this month. AMC is offering 6 varieties of its movie theater popcorn, and prices range from $4 for a ready-to-eat bag to $5 for a 6-pack of microwavable popcorn. Next, Colorado. We head there as recently 24 skiers were married on top of a mountain in Summit County, Colorado. The 12 couples exchanged vows before skiing down the slopes in formal wear and wedding dresses. 63 other couples renewed their vows. And get this, one couple won a honeymoon getaway at another ski resort nearby. And to head down the slopes, one bride, she showed off her flair by wearing a hot pink wedding dress. Now that's a unique wedding venue if I have ever heard of one. Heading further west, we go to Utah. The Utah Department of Natural Resources is telling people it's okay to eat bullfrogs as they are now being considered an invasive species in the state, meaning they are now interfering with the local ecosystem by feasting on native animals and introducing new pathogens. These bullfrogs can grow upwards to 1.5 pounds and are found in ponds and marshes. The Utah DNR took to social media again recently posting and reminding all that, quote, catch as many bullfrogs as you want. There's no limit or license required. And bonus, they are tasty. People have been catching them using marshmallows and grasshoppers as bait on their fishing poles. Head to Utah's DNR page for details and proper transportation rules. Heading east to Virginia, I gotta be honest, I am not excited about this story. After hearing this, know that the next time I rent a vehicle, a trailer of any kind, a thorough walk and look under will be taken. A Virginia U-Haul manager recently found a frozen python on a truck floorboard during a routine walk-around. It is unknown where it hitched a ride. Regardless, knowing the extremes that Florida is going through with the invasive species of the python, beware on your next rental. Now to North Carolina. Spring cleaning is on all of our minds. Just be prepared for what you might find. During a new home inspection, the building code and compliance officer there found an 8-foot alligator in the attic of the house he was inspecting. According to the inspection officer, he's seen squirrels, small rodents, but never a gator. Folks, I know we just shared a lot of news from around the world in the United States too. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to hear from a youth. We're going to also talk about what you should be buying now to save money to use this coming fall and next winter. And you know what? We might have a recipe we'll share too. Stay where you are. The Bend will be right back.
In the field, on the farm, or in the saddle, we're right there with you in your pocket, on your phone, and everywhere you go. RFD TV Now. Current ag reports, geo-targeted weather, live streaming 24/7, and our full collection of shows you love at the tip of your finger. At less than $10 a month, it's the cheapest tool on the farm. Download the app today and start watching RFD TV Now.
Hey guys and gals, this is John Arman with Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV. Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV travels the back roads to the backwaters in pursuit of the ultimate adventure in hunting and fishing. Join Team UOA every week for exciting action in the crosshairs of the outdoors. Catch Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV on YouTube, Amazon Prime, and make sure to follow Team UOA on Facebook and Instagram to share in the ultimate outdoor adventure.
This is Beck. First, I appreciate all of you for listening and making The Bend part of your week. Many of you have asked, how do I catch past episodes? The answer is super easy. Head to thebendshow.com and click on the shows tab. There you can listen to every episode all the way back to episode 1. Podcasters, head to your favorite podcasting app and search The Bend. You'll find us. Be sure to follow and subscribe and never miss another episode again. Welcome back to the Outdoors Radio Show, The Bend. I am your host, Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck. First off, we've got a treat for you. Our very own Bend field staffer, Heather Crowey, while competing at the Illinois Taxidermist Association show and convention last weekend, she sat down with a youth, Hunter Short, from Chapin, Illinois, who was a junior in high school to visit about the outdoors and hunting. Here's a bit of their conversation.
Hey Hunter, what do you have experience as far as the outdoors? What do you like to do in your spare time? Because you're still in high school, correct?
Yes, I'm still in high school. I like to read about deer hunting and stuff like that and watch shows about it anytime I can. And anytime we're out hunting, I like to take a lot of pictures of the wildlife. And one of my favorite things, though, is being able to watch ground that I've been hunting on slowly grow and then slowly come to what it's be so far.
So Hunter, knowing you and your family hunting and being in the outdoors is pretty integral. What are some of your favorite memories of being with family in the outdoors?
There was one time I remember it was actually me and my dad, Jared Short, were sitting in the deer blind. And while we were sitting there, we heard this rattle or rustling in this little patch of weeds that was right in front of us where an old pond had been taken out. Well, about blink of an eye, here came 20 or 30 quail flying straight towards the deer blind, and we had to duck so that way they didn't fly into the deer blind. And that same day, we had seen, a big red cardinal sitting about 40 feet away, 30, 40 feet away. But this year wasn't so great on the deer hunting, although I also think that was because there was a bobcat not too far behind where we were sitting.
So you obviously like to be in the outdoors. If you could pick any type of hunt anywhere, where would you like to go?
I'd want to go hunt in the mountains, see what it's like, view, see what all I could find. I've always wanted to try hunting in the mountains.
Any advice you could give to someone who's new to the outdoors or other youth who are interested?
Sit as still as you can, be as quiet as you can. I obviously can't speak for myself, but go have fun. It'll be a good time. Just have as much fun as you can while you're hunting. Make it last.
All right, Beck. Well, that's just a little wrap up of what's going on here in Springfield. We'll catch up with you guys later.
Thank you, Hunter, for the insight and sharing with us. It is always a breath of fresh air to hear about youth interested in the outdoors. And by the way, a special congratulations to Heather Crowey, Little Rack Taxidermy, for placing second with her whitetail buck shoulder mount entry. A new season means there are new sales. So what I did is I looked around and what you should be buying now to use or gift later this year. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Let's save those pennies because we all know everything is costing more than it should these days. And this is what I've come across so far. First off, your hunting boots, especially your insulated hunting boots. Now, hear me out on this one. Tigger and I recently, we went to one of our local sporting goods stores, and we ended up scoring ourselves boots that were 65% off. And I'm talking mid-season type weather boots that were 800 grams. So they're great for the fall and early winter season hunting. What's awesome about us getting them now is that it's still a little bit chilly. So we actually are getting ahead of the game and we are breaking in our boots now for next hunting season. Plus, we got them at 65% off. You can't beat that kind of a deal. Another one, you're thinking about stocking stuffers and those kinds of gifts. Stocking caps never go out of style. That's a big one. There are a lot of places are buy one, get one free right now. Same goes for the gloves. So there you have it. We just saved you some money.
People have been calling and they were texting and sending messages saying, we absolutely love some of these little hacks, some of these great recipes that Beck is coming up with. So back to the kitchen she goes. I would imagine that's where she's at.
I gotta say, this was quite encouraging. In case you missed last week's episode, we shared a recipe that was a Mexican meatloaf, and I got rave reviews, not just from Tigger, but I actually heard from all of you, which is why I am back doing another segment of, I guess we're going to call this Cooking with Beck. We're back in the cabin here at the place and in the kitchen. And what I'm making today, because I received a great email saying, hey, Beck, I really appreciated the portion size, because a lot of time for our waistline, it's so hard to judge what is a portion size these days, as well as trying to use up foods that we have right in our own freezers or cupboards, refrigerator, not having to make a special run to the store. So what I'm making are breakfast sausage bites, and I am using our ground sausage. We have pork sausage that is already ground. If you happen to have, say, a favorite pork and venison combination that is ground as well, that would work. However, I do suggest having quite a bit of pork in it just because it's breakfast. You know, you got to have your pork. So with that, I've already chopped up a green pepper, some sweet onion, about a half of a sweet onion, half of a bell pepper, and then I did a couple of slices of jalapeno because we like a little heat when we cook in this kitchen. So I have a pan heated up, and into it I'm tossing the sausage, and you're about to hear that sizzle. There we go. I've put a little extra virgin olive oil in the bottom of the pan. You know how that is, just to help it. But yes, I'm going to brown up that sausage. And while the sausage is actually browning, I am tossing in the cut up onion, bell pepper, and jalapeno to cook right into that pork sausage. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. And I'm chopping away here. You can hear the pan a little bit. Chopping it away. And it is browning up nice, and it is browning up fast. So this here is going to go into a muffin tin again, just like how we did the meatloaf. We're using a muffin tin.
Does it turn out? Doesn't it turn out? Well, of course it does. We'll have more of the Ben Radio Show coming up right after this.
The hunt is planned, the guide is booked, the trip is blocked off in the calendar, but one huge detail remains, preserving that trophy, creating a memory that will last a lifetime. Little Rack Taxidermy has that fast, friendly service to fulfill your taxidermy in a timely, professional manner. Reach out to Heather with Little Rack Taxidermy through Facebook at Little Rack Taxidermy, or send an email to heatherjoe23@hotmail.com. Little Rack Taxidermy, bringing back the natural look.
Shooting ducks, skinning bucks, I'm a hunting princess in a pickup truck.
Last year, we got to meet Rob, Todd, and Jason, the crew from Wabalo Creek Outfitters, and hear about their hunts. What can we expect on a hunt with Wabalo Creek Outfitters?
We're a family-style hunt, and most of our hunters have come back 5, 6 since we've opened, have hunted with us every year.
Book your hunt today. Head to WabalowCreekOutfitters.com. That is WeaubleAU, Wabalo, located in southwest Missouri, for your next turkey or whitetail hunt. Be sure to tell them Beck from the Bend sent ya.
The 2023 world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale starts May 6th and 7th with horse racing. Also, Mother's Day weekend, May 14th, moms are admitted free. And this year, we've added horse racing May 19th, 20th, and 21st as well. May 18th is a concert with Mitchell Tenpenny at 8:30, Stolen Road, and Copper Mountain Band leading off at 6 p.m. There's bronc riding, mutton busting, wild horse racing, a bronc match, street dance, and more. Online for schedule and tickets, buckinghorsesale.com.
Welcome back to the Bend Radio Show. I'm going to go back and grab Beck. She's still in the kitchen finishing that up for y'all.
All right, now that I have my sausage, egg, onion mixture, and green pepper mixture all diced up, chopped up, real fine, as fine as I can get it, and I have my oven preset to 375, I'm going to put some eggs in the bowl and get these whisked up. For example, if your muffin pan holds a dozen, so has 12 little spots, then I would say you would want to put I'm going to put in here 7 eggs, and then to make it stretch a little further, I'm going to add milk. And I prefer to use a high protein milk, something like Fairlife, something that has a lot of protein. But then now again, because eggs have become like gold, right? We have to use what we've got. So a pan will take about 7 whole eggs along with a half a cup of milk. And I'm going to whisk this up really, really well. There we go. There we go. Okay, very, very good. Perfect. See, it doesn't take too much. That muffin tin that's already greased. Our family, Tigger and I love the Fiesta blend, shredded cheese, that kind of stuff with our eggs. And as I said, we're going for more of this recipe again is more of a keto friendly Atkins. However, you don't have to stick to that way necessarily. That's just how this is going to end up, with very high protein, low carbohydrates. So on the bottom of that muffin tin, I'm putting pinches of shredded cheese, and just about a pinch, just takes a pinch worth in the bottom of each one, kind of gives it a bottom like a crust, you might want to call it, but really the egg is going to soak it up anyway. We just love cheese in our house. Okay, now I'm taking a ladle and putting a good heap. So it's probably about 2 tablespoons worth, if not a little bit more. I just use one of those smaller ladles that I have that sometimes you might use for pancake batter, for example. All right, I'm filling each one of these up. Okay, that's about perfect. Now it's time to add that sausage mixture. And you're going to want to add enough just so, we'll just say there's about 1/4 of an inch or less, about 1/4 of an inch left in the top of that muffin tin. So it's not going to take a whole lot now that you already have the egg batter in there to add that sausage to each muffin tin. We just don't want them overflowing. Okay, now I got them all filled up, and I'm going to top mine off with more of that shredded cheese. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is going to be good. Okay, perfect. All right, into the oven it goes. And we'll set the timer here for about 10 minutes, and let's see what we got. Okay, the eggs are done. The egg sausage muffin bites, as we're calling them, are done. And pull them out of the oven, and you're going to notice they have rised up. They tend to grow in these muffin pans, but here, let me set them down on the counter here for a little bit and in a cooler spot. Hey, Tigger, time for you to come out and give something a try. All right, here we go. Easy. These are going to be hot, I know. So what we have here are egg sausage muffin bites. And you'll notice, yes, they have shrunk down. They were a little bit puffy when they first came out, and then all of a sudden they settled down in the pan as it cooled off, and that's normal for them to be. But they're, okay, let me pop these out for you. Look at all that melted cheese on the top. And they're just the right size for you. Give it a try. Don't burn yourself.
That's very good. Everybody's hearing me speak.
They're going to get used to just hearing you eat, I think.
Why don't you have more of those little dishes and make more?
I see what you're wanting to do.
I'm just saying.
You're going to keep me in the kitchen, huh? No, I've got other stuff to do. But these here, what's awesome about these is that now he just had a portion size, and what's left of them can actually be refrigerated. So that's the other idea I love about making these little portion-sized meals as you're catching on, is because you make them ahead of time. I've made enough here to last Tigger and I for several days, and they're a quick, easy grab out of the fridge. If you need a quick lunch, you microwave them for 30 seconds. Boom, you've got your own yummy, fresh, homemade egg bake to go. Or say you have an upcoming camping trip, or you're heading out to the backcountry and you want to take some of that stuff with, but not have to make it out there, make life easier. Because sometimes when you get in from hiking, when you get in from on a big hunt, any of those things, the last thing you want to do is start cooking. And all you have to do then with these is just easily warm them up, and you are ready to go. Well, I hope you enjoy. We're going to call this wrapped, folks. Thank you to my producer, sound engineer, co-host Jeff Tigger Erhardt. And thank you to high school junior Hunter Short from Illinois for sharing how he loves the outdoors. And congratulations again to Bend Field staffer Heather Crowey, the owner of Little Rock Taxidermy, on placing at the Illinois Taxidermists Association show. As always, know that we sure do enjoy hearing how all parts of the country are doing. So please, yes, we invite you to call or text in your area's field reports. That number again is 305-900 900-2363. Again, that's 305-900-2363. Or you can always email those updates into benradioshow@gmail.com. And by the way, if you're on social media and posting pictures, be sure you are tagging at The Ben Show. We want to see what you're doing, and we want to ride along as you ride along with us each and every week. If you missed part of this show, or you want to hear past shows, you can find them all on the website, thebenshow.com. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting app. Looking to change things up at your next event, conference, or awards banquet? Have us, Tigger and Beck, entertain your crowd. We are PRCA Pro Rodeo card holders, where Tigger is a pro rodeo announcer, and we are PRCA music directors. From MCs to event headliners, public speakers to acting as a host couple, let us make your gathering extra special. From ranching, cattle, hunting, fishing, camping, and rodeo, plus so much more, including, did you know, Tigger, he's also an auctioneer. Try spicing things up at your next fishing tournament. Think about having us, Tigger and Beck, auction off a fishing Calcutta to add to the excitement. Regardless the crowd, we have the stories to share with the laughs to be had. Thank you to our partners, Ditali Outdoors, About You Photography, Buckstorm, Little Rock Taxidermy, Mickey's Mustard, ToxicCalls.com, Wabalo Creek Outfitters, Atlas Tracks, RFD TV, and the Cowboy Channel. Finally, a big thanks to all of you listeners out there that came along, and whether you're coming or going today, stay with us as we ranch it up. And remember to keep up with me, Beck, all week long by following The Bend on Facebook and on Instagram at The Bend Show. This is Rebecca Wanner. Catch Beck if you can next week on The Bend.